What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Kronos. His name is Tigerboss. His opponent today in the blue color, deciding to change it up into the Atlantean civilization Oranos. His name is Shelty. Shelty the Shelton Snake. The map is still competitive mega random, and I think this is crazy. This is such a low percent spawn. We've got essentially the same map layout as last game, but a completely different civilization here to boot. So these guys, a little bit disappointing to see the same map variation, but this is part of how random works. You might say this would never happen again. It probably won't happen for a very long time, but can definitely be a thing here, and we're going to be seeing a little bit of Mediterranean action, but it's Kronos. Excuse me, I'm dying. It's Kronos versus Oranos, so things tend to be just a little bit different here as we see the Oracle coming forward to deconstruct the dock. The fishing ship will just drop that back in here, and Shelty's going to get his dock back up. So Shelty playing that early part of the game pretty nicely here. Going to be getting up his mana over here, getting his dock, no problems. And he shouldn't really hit too much idle time here, I shouldn't think, from his town center. So that early deconstruction, they're not really helping the case of Tigerboss. Just does, I guess, however long it takes to build a dock worth of time there. And Shelty going to be continuing now completely fine. So the question is going to be, what sort of Kronos are we going to see here from Tigerboss? Is Tigerboss just going to go for kind of standard Kronos, go 430, try and utilize the deconstruction to get an advantage? Is he going to go for an aggressive Kronos, going for a 4-minute advance time, or is he, or what else could you do? I don't really know, but we do already see the Oracles in position to try and attack Shelty. So this definitely might be that 4-minute variant. But whenever you do the 4-minute variant, it can be very, very challenging, difficult, you name it, to actually make that 4-minute timing advance work. Normally we see more like 4:10 or even a 4:15 on some of the worst maps here, as we see the villagers all getting pulled off here. Tigerboss is throwing his temple down on this location. He's got himself his goat over here, so he's doing this build pretty nicely here as this final citizen is coming forward. You can see the resources not quite there yet for Tigerboss. He's going to have to pull these fishing ship back in and see if he can advance here. And it does look like this is going to be a pretty nutty 4-minute advance from Tigerboss. Basically perfect advance here from him. So good job there in the early game. So Shelty is going to have his work cut out for him right now, as Shelty is also trying to advance as fast as he can here, but is significantly behind Tigerboss's advance time because of that dock situation here. As we see the temple getting brought forward, Shelty does have enough time to throw up at least one dock here as the citizen moves forward here to throw said dock down. We see the fishing ship's going to be changing their location here as Shelty drops the dock down. Might be worth it to drop down 3 docks here, but it's a little bit challenging to make that one work as the temple comes in. Shelty might want to garrison these oracles into the tower, but he's just going to be ready to fight when he can fight. Focus coming through. Focus isn't that big of a deal here because it doesn't give any bonus to damage like it does on extended edition. It's just straight speed on Vubli, so the oracles can defend this one nicely. And very smart here from Tigerboss to get a couple of hits in there with his oracles going after this, and then going straight after the citizen here, as the Prometheus is very, very far behind here for Shelty, and those Bareem are going to be coming out fairly shortly now. You see the Valor coming in for Shelty, but he does have a lot of damage already being done onto his oracles, as those Bareem are going to be coming out here for Shelty. He's continuing to take this fight here, but Shelty just hanging in on this location. Thank you so much for the raiding party, Don Artie. Hope your Age of Empires 4 is going well. Welcome everybody to the stream. This is the competitive Mega Random tournament. as Shelty is just trying to juke his way around here and stay alive against the fearsome Kronos that Tigerboss is bringing into this game. As those Bareem Steins coming, does get his first pick, pulling back. We see a dead Promethean already. The Oracles coming down, two dead Oracles currently. Almost a third one here, as it looks like Shelty might be able to survive this one. Is this low HP Bareem doing nicely, getting a little bit of miss micro here, pulling back into his defensive location. He does have himself 3 docks in this position now, as this citizen has been spotted, and we see the Bareem coming forward. You got to be a little bit careful. They don't want to overcommit too much here, as Shelty retreating his citizen back, and see if he can keep that citizen alive. He's not paying attention. We see the Bareem darting in, and we will be probably seeing a dead citizen. Big shockwave coming through. The citizen can jump into the sentry tower, and he does manage to get that one there, living with 1 HP. That is so huge for Shelty, as both players still only at 8 citizens, and no significant advantage really thus far for Tigerboss in this game. Population difference is slightly in favor of Tigerboss, but that doesn't matter a whole much as long as Shelty sits underneath his docks. But he's kind of making a mistake here, pushing out right now, as Tigerboss has got that small advantage. So you just have to sit in here, allow Tigerboss to have kind of the map control, as it were, on the water, and just live the dream underneath these docks here. What is this citizen doing? What are you doing? 1 HP citizen. This is one of the most ballsy citizen you have ever seen. And Tigerboss notices it and he's like, I'm going to make an oracle here and take this citizen out. See that oracle popping out into the temple here. What are you doing, citizen? Get back to work. Why are you so ballsy? See Promethean coming out. Three oracles going to come down, and a Valor potentially will come through as well for some more harassment here for Tigerboss, utilizing that Valor upgrade or whatever. And he's going straight after this, isn't? No, he's not. Why are you here? Dead Cell. It's so sad. He made so much of an effort to keep that one alive. Shelty, no. Oh, dearie me. But now we see another mana coming up, and now the second round of oracles coming in for Kronos. Very rarely do we see this one here, as the double Promethean offspring getting deleted, going to go for a raid now, as Shelty realizes that there's not going to be any defense for Promethean offspring in Tigerboss's base, as that Valor has been utilized. You see the temple getting time shift back home here, as the oracles searching around the base here, looking for some citizen to kill off. Looking at this gold mine, there's no villagers on this gold mine for the time being here. The Bareem's getting pulled back. Bareem differential here, 65 for Shelty to Tigerboss's 82, as we now see a deconstruction coming onto the docks. But there are still 2 docks here for Shelty. He just needs to garrison into his docks here. He's not doing that, so he's not actually got any advantage on the defense here, as Tigerboss notices this, pushing in. Now finally we see those fishing ships getting garrisoned, but is it too little too late, as Tigerboss has got such a significant advantage on the water, as he pushes in and he cleans up every one of those Bareems. An incredibly strong push there by Tigerboss, as the Promethean offspring making their way into Tigerboss's base. And maybe this is too much of an advantage now for Tigerboss. Shelty dropping down a lot of resources right now. We do see that those oracles are all picked off in the middle of his base here, but Shelty is on 9 citizen to Tigerboss's 12 citizen. 7 fishing ship for Tigerboss to Shelty's 5 fishing ship, which are not gathering anymore. And we will be seeing a town center coming up now for Tigerboss, as these Promethean offspring are attempting to micro this one as to the best of their ability to pick off this citizen. It can be a little, very, very challenging to pick this one off, especially because the citizen can dart or teleport into a mana a lot of the times. But he gets 1 pick there. Going to be going after another citizen over here, but that one's going to be getting to safety fairly easily, as these villagers now going to be chopping this wood over here. Still not enough food to get the town center up that he wants, but just about to. And we will probably be seeing fishing ships getting spammed out now by Tigerboss as well. So we see the Bareems coming through here, and I'm not sure. Well, that must have been a Valor of some sort here by Shelty, as the villagers pulling off of this tree, going onto the town center to get that one up, and going to be continuing now as best as he possibly can. But Shelty not going to be giving up here in this game. Losing the water, as we saw from last game, not the end of the world. Your opponent does overspend a little bit to win the water, so you do have somewhat of an opportunity to come back here in this game and get some good damage done. The question is going to be, can Shelty deny a second town center or not? As these units are moving forward, we do see potentially that Shelty notices this as the temple gets time shifted onto this location, and now the Terma are going to be going after these citizen. The Promethean moving forward as well here, as those citizen moving back, and the town center will be spotted here. As I don't think that Shelty is going to allow this citizen to escape right now. The Promethean kind of needs to get onto this town center, though. It's getting awfully close to coming up. I'm not sure if Shelty has spotted it or not yet, but he does pick off one citizen there. There's the Valor coming in onto this position, coming forward to kill off these villagers over here as well, as Tigerboss going to be retreating back. The Promethean coming forward to take down the settlement. Tigerboss going to be a little bit upset about not being able to get that one up, and now Tigerboss has got to make military units on land. He cannot rely on those town centers to keep himself alive. The Bareem here just sitting strong, preventing the fishing ships from doing all too much. It is currently 13 villages apiece here as the Promethean are getting produced on this location. Now we see the Terma picking off yet another citizen here. A handful of Oracle heroes have been created by Tigerboss, but they're going to get picked off fairly easily here by the Terma. A little bit of micro here could go a long way as well for Shelty, but he's not currently doing it. Focusing a little bit over on this location here. It's probably enough for Shelty to deal with this one, as Tigerboss can't defend this location any longer here. And now we're starting to see some Mermillo getting taken down. The citizen moving forward. We see a counter barracks coming up here for Tigerboss, as well as the Terma swinging around here, going to try and take down this citizen on this location as well, as he's sending more and more Terma in here. And that citizen does jump into the manor right now, and we see the Terma pushing in to try and pick off enemy Terma citizen here, going to be getting pushed back here as well. 109 population for Shelty to 106 population for Tigerboss, but Tigerboss is going to be hitting the heroic age soon, you'd have to be guessing, and there's a lot of resources in this settlement that are going to come straight back to Tigerboss here, as well as the Terma retreating back here. We see the Mermillo getting taken out as well. The temple getting built in his main base, and Shelty continuing to put some good pressure on. The problem for Shelty is that this is a weird map here. It's not Mediterranean because there's two medium gold mines in the main base. So Shelty has to put pressure onto the main base of Tigerboss here, which he is doing nice. And I love that he's just left this town center here. This is something that not a lot of players would do, but right now Shelty knows that that town center is not going up, and that's just 700 resources ish. It's a little bit less because it's Atlantean, but 700 resources that Tigerboss doesn't have access to right now, and Shelty is just all over Tigerboss's base right now. He just needs to attack this gold mine a little bit harder, and he's going to be in a fantastic position because Tigerboss is at 99 population. He's got a lot of that population in Bareem as well. That's 14 population less, even so, on land that Shelty's not really needing to worry about. Shelty could be dropping these fishing ship out a little bit more and doing that, but we do see the units now pushing back in onto this gold over here, going after the citizen on this location, attacking the wood villages here. There's no close tower for these to go to, so they have to run all the way into this tower over here as the citizen trying to retreat back. There's no room inside the tower though, and one citizen will be going down. Shelty going to be retreating away. More units coming in over here. Shelty needs to maybe make some sky passages or something to make his way forward just a little bit faster. The village is getting pushed off this gold mine. We see Tigerboss getting himself pickaxe now to try and get him a little bit more gold in the bank, as Shelty can now start thinking about getting himself his own second town center. Lots of units now sitting in the base here for Shelty, though he needs to be attacking here as best as he can, as the Terma retreating around this location. The Oranos advantage in this matchup is speed. Those the special ability of Oranos, or unique upgrade that Oranos gets, is a 10% boost to every single human unit here in terms of speed. So his Terma got 5.5 speed compared to his opponent's 5.0 speed Terma. Big shockwave coming in there to give a huge boost there to the army of Shelty, and Tigerboss retreats back. Town Center still not coming up for Shelty, which is a bit of a surprise here. It seems like he just doesn't have the food to support it, but he's got a lot of unspent resources in the bank. So too does Tigerboss, but he is definitely looking like he's trying to get to the next age here. As we see these units coming through, going to be sniping off straggler units just a little bit here that are coming through, but Shelty wants to be targeting down this gold mine as this stray pack of army that Shelty has needs to get elsewhere and do some real damage to a different location on the map. As Shelty retreats back just a little bit, he can turn around and take this fight at any point here if he wants to micro just a little bit. It's more units coming forward looking for something else to take down. We do see that Tigerboss's town center has finally been killed off. Maybe Tigerboss deleted it, but we do see that Shelty has to decide to retreat away. And now there's a town center coming up for Shelty. But what's going to actually happen here? Because Tigerboss is going to be able to get himself Heroic Age very, very soon. And Heroic Age is a big power spike in this matchup for Kronos because you get access to those cheaper destroyers. Destroyers being the siege unit, but more importantly, they just don't take damage. Well, they've got really high pierce armor. So those terms become kind of useless, and you can get kind of like a destroyer Murmillo army in a big way now because you've got access to the fishing ship, extra boost to the food economy. So we'll see if that's what Tigerboss is going to be going for here. And you also get access to Hyperion, which is the Satyr myth unit, which is also really, really strong here, as well as Chaos. As the Citizen are going to be moving forward to grab this gold mine. Shelty getting himself his third town center, and the Terma going to be swinging in here as well, looking for some more raids now that Tigerboss isn't in his base. Could potentially get some villager kills here as the Terma are just kind of navigating their way through this kind of building maze that Tigerboss has constructed, but it's not enough to stop the units from getting in here, as the Terma here can get potentially picked off very, very fast. We do see now that we've got ourselves 9 villagers for Tigerboss making their way onto this gold mine up here. This little location over here has been spotted though, and basically Shelty, he has to fight here in a big way. Thanks so much for the Prime Win House. Appreciate you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. And these Terma getting taken down pretty quickly though, as the Murmillo really, really strong against Terma. The villagers trying to fight here, utilizing the hero citizen even to take down that myth unit. That Promethean gets that bonus damage, and Tigerboss does have to retreat here as Shelty pulling back over here. There's the Hyperion, going to be able to drop that Chaos down as he's retreating away if he wants. Maybe going to hit the Promethean of Shelty. There is still a decent amount of hunt left on this map for Shelty, similar to last game, so he doesn't need to go farms anytime soon here. Sultan 4 immediately coming through for Tigerboss. As Tigerboss is pulling back here, we do see these Terma retreating back away from this location, spotting the town center coming up. We do have a stray citizen wandering forward for Shelty to drop this military barracks down and try and claim this town center for himself. Would be a little bit of a bait here in a way if Shelty tries to grab this town center for himself though, because that means Tigerboss is going to hit the Mythic Age significantly before him, and he's going to be kind of stuck in that classical age for a while here. As the Chaos does get thrown down onto this army, converting those units into Gaia, and Shelty going to be retreating back to the town center here in an attempt to hold on. What's happening inside of Shelty's base? Got himself a couple of farms, still pumping out those units as best as he can, and now we see an attempt to take down this location. I don't think that Tigerboss can quite make this attack work just yet, though. The Satyr here is very, very scary, and Shelty's got no real favor in the bank to make those heroes. You can convert Atlantean human units to heroes here for the cost of resources and a little bit of favor, but no favor means no heroes, which means that those myth units are going to be very, very tough to deal with as this town center is going down pretty slowly. Shelty might want to consider getting Masons here, but Tigerboss a little bit overextended. He has to retreat back as he's now dropping down military barracks on the front and has that palace. And this is what we were talking about a little bit earlier. The palace goes up and the destroyers are going to come through, and that's going to be a really, really difficult thing for Shelty, Ibering Life, to really deal with, as he doesn't have the unit composition to kill off destroyers. You kind of need Murmillo, Fnatic, or Caraballister in a way might be decent. I'm not actually sure about that. Or maybe even Contarius as well could be a decent idea, as we are seeing some Contarius coming out for Tigerboss to maybe deal with those Terma. But Tigerboss has to pull back yet again. Hunting dogs coming through for Tigerboss as he's trying to grab some of the food on the map, and we do see that some citizen coming forward to try and take this town center here. And Shelty still trying to put a defense up on this position. He's trying to get to the next age as fast as he possibly can, not really producing all too much. We see some catapulties even coming out as he's noticing the Contarius getting built, but it's maybe too early to really be going catapulties. They're not the best of units to kill anything but cavalry. They can just count out cavalry units. And now Shelty just about ready to be advancing to the heroic age himself here, as he's mightily holding on here against this attack, as we see some Mermillo getting produced into this barracks, I would assume, or just straight out of this barracks, going to be attacking the town center, while more Mermillo getting produced over there. And now Shelty just a little bit short on gold to advance, and he's 500 gold, 800 food to get to that next age here. So we see a palace getting... Is that getting... Okay, the palace getting time shifted forward. I really love that. The palace time shift is half the cost of a palace, so it's still a lot. It's like 300 resources. But you can just move it forward into an aggressive position to take control of the town center and live the dream where that's concerned. And now we see Helios coming through for Tigerboss, which is absolutely gigantic, getting access to the Hecagigantes, getting access to those 3 Vortex, and most importantly, having a really solid, reliable way to deal with a Tartarian gate, which is a big ticket advantage that Oranos would normally have in this matchup, because if the Oranos hits the Mythic Age first, Tartarian gate comes down. Very tough to deal with that one. But if you have a Vortex, you can just zap your units over to the Tartarian gate, kill it, and then you still have 2 Vortexes left to use. As we see more barracks up on this position here for Shelty, but Tigerboss seems to have figured out a way to get fairly solidified here into this position, and the palace down going to be actually take out that town center eventually as well, as Shelty needs to figure out a way forward. Here he is controlling the bottom side of this map, but there's plenty of gold at the top side, so as the map is kind of halfway cut down, both players on 3 town centers, kind of both players at full villages here as well. We see an immediate chaos being used, but that's going to be a regretful chaos there for Shelty, as there's going to be a Hecagigantes. He's going to wish that he could chaos in the near future here, as another palace getting thrown up on this front, as Shelty is desperately trying to push through this army here. The catapult is actually coming in clutch here, killing off those Contarius incredibly fast, as a Satyr coming in to help push through as well. Fortified town centers coming through for Tigerboss. Tons of wood in the bank here for Shelty, as he is trying to pick off these Mermillo that are pushing forward on this location. It looks like Tigerboss is trying to find a place to Vortex straight away, which would probably be this town center over here. Maybe killing off this town center first wouldn't be a bad idea. One way you can do this is actually garrison some units into a palace, and then those units do not get vortexed, so you can actually get multiple different locations being attacked at one point. So you also see the Man of War coming in. Very rarely do we get to see this unit. It's kind of a meme. It kind of looks like a Son of Osiris, but does 25 hack damage a shot, I believe, and so it's not nearly as good as the Son of Osiris, but does come in pretty handy here, funnily enough, as we're also seeing some Bareems coming in to try and help out on this location. There's the Mermillo coming in. Shelty's getting himself Masons right now, but a Vortex is probably going to be getting cast over here. Will we see any sort of garrison shenanigans? It doesn't look like we are, as the unit's going to drop in here. We've got 1 Hecagigantes, which is such a beastly unit here, even utilizing that special ability to hit a citizen there. And now we're going to start seeing the town center getting taken down here incredibly fast, and in that moment Shelty does decide to tap out, losing those 5 farms, that town center, and more importantly, as soon as that goes down, these gold mines are going to be getting cleaned up as well, and I don't think that Shelty is going to be able to make his way back into this game. That's such a disappointment for Shelty. He lost the water pretty hard here, but he made such a significant comeback, just not quite enough damage dealt to Tigerboss's economy, and Tigerboss was able to get to the Mythic Age too fast here. Shelty just not able to keep up. Tigerboss gets the dub here, but it's not all over for Shelty in this tournament here. Tigerboss going to be coming in first place in his group, and Shelty going to be coming in second place in his group. So both players get to go on to the main bracket out of the group stages of this tournament. So yeah, you do have to go up against a first place finisher in a different group, but he's still got a shot at staying alive and getting placing top top 4, top 2. He can still win the entire tournament if he just doesn't lose another game in this tournament coming through. But GG, well played by Tigerboss. Congratulations to him. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.